Good morning, everyone. Myself, Kanchan Paute. Today, we will see detailed concepts of software engineering. First of all, we will see what is meant by software engineering. Software engineering means we have to detail study about engineering to the design, development, and maintenance of software. Okay, let me see. Uh, there are some software development lifecycle process and models. Uh, First of all, we will see what is meant by software development life cycle. See, a software development life cycle, in short, it is also called as SDLC, is a process used by the software industry to design, develop, and test high quality software. Means software development life cycle is a process used to software industry to design, develop, and test high quality softwares. The software development life cycle aims to produce a high quality software that meets or exceeds customer expectations. To fulfill the customer satisfaction, we need this software development life cycle. Okay, this reaches completion within times and co-estimates. Means our software development will be uh, completed into the time. Now, software development life cycle is an acronym. Means SDLC is acronym of software development life cycle. It is also called as software development process. Software development life cycle is a framework defining tasks performed at each step in the software development process. Now, international standard for software life cycle process is a ISO. Okay. Uh, it aims to be standard that defines all the tasks required for developing and maintaining software. Okay. Now we will see what is meant by this software development lifecycle. Software development lifecycle is a process followed for software project within the software organization. It consists of detailed plan describing how to develop, maintain, replace, and alter or enhance specific software. The life cycle defines a methodology for improving the quality of software and the overall development process. Now, the following figure shows the various stages of software development life cycle. Now, we'll see there are six main phases of software development life cycle. These are um, the first phase in software development life cycle is nothing but the planning and requirement analysis. Second, defining requirements. Third, designing the product architectures. Fourth, building or developing products. Fifth, testing the products. Sixth one is deployment or market and maintenance. Okay, these are the six stages of life cycle we will study in detail. First of all, we will study the first phase of software development life cycle is nothing but the planning and requirement analysis. Requirement analysis is the most important and fundamental stage in SDLC. It is performed by the senior members of the team with input from the customer, the sale department, market survey, and domain experts in the industry. This information is then used to plan the basic project approach and to conduct product feasibility study in the economical, operational, and technical areas. Okay, planning for the quality assurance requirements and identification of the risk associated with the project is also done in the planning stage. The outcome of the technical feasibility study is to define the various technical approaches that can be followed to implement projects successfully with minimum risk. Now, this is all about means planning and requirement analysis. Whatever requirement for developing our software, no, that will be studied here, and planning can be also done in this first stage of software development life cycle. Now we will study detail about second stage of software development life cycle, that is nothing but the defining requirements. Once the requirement analysis is done, the next step is to clearly define and document the product. Means we are defining requirements, we in this stage we clearly define the product requirements and get them approved from the customer or the market analysis. This is done through the SRS. SRS is nothing but the software requirement specification. This software requirement specification can gives approval for further development. Okay, software requirement specification, that is also called as SRS. Documents which consists of all the product requirements to be designed and developed during the project life cycle. Now, third stage of software development life cycle is nothing but the designing the product architecture. Means actually we are making designing our software system. Okay, software requirement specification is a reference for the product architect to come out with the best architecture for the product to be developed based on the requirement specified in SRS. Usually more than one design approach for the product architecture is proposed and documented in a design document specification. Means in DDS, the as per by using SRS specifications we can make designing more than one types of designs can be made in the designing the while this phase, while developing this phase, that is nothing but the designing the product architectures, out of which we can select one particular design, that is nothing but the design document specification. Okay, this design document specification is reviewed by all the important stockholders and based on the various parameters as risk assessment, product robustness, design modularity, budget and time constraints. The best design approach is selected for the product. A design approach clearly defines all the architectural models of the product along with its communication and data flow representation with the external and third party models. The internal design of all the modules of the proposed architecture should be clearly defined with the minutes of the details in design development specification, design document specification. Now, means in third phase of software development life cycle, the designing of the product and making architectures of that product will be done in the third stage of SDLC life cycle. Now we will study about uh, fourth fourth phase of SDLC life cycle, that is nothing but a building or developing the products. Means whatever design selected, no, we are implementing that design with the help of code. uh, in this stage, the software development life cycle, the actual development starts and the product is built. The programming code is generated as per DDS, means whatever design document specification, no, the selected design architectures we can make in this DDS. We can make code for the programming code of that design document specification and and develop our software. Okay, programming code is generated as per DDS during this stage. If the design is performed in the detailed and organized manner, code generation can be accomplished without much hassle. Okay, now developer must follow the coding guidelines defined by their organization, and programming tools like compiler, interpreter, debugger, etc. are used to generation of the code. Different high level programming languages such as C, C++, Pascal, Java, PHP, .NET, etc. Used for coding purpose. Okay, the programming languages is chosen with respect to the type of software being developed. Suppose we want to develop a web buster, then we are using the .NET, PHP, Java, means the software which can support the language which can support the web based application, that types. Okay, and if you want to develop a window based software system, then we use the window based programming language, that is for example Visual Basic, etc. Now the this is means in fourth stage of SDLC lifecycle we can develop with the help of coding. We can whatever design selected, no, that can be developed in development of the product stage, fourth stage of the SDLC life cycle. Now we will study detail about stage fifth, that is nothing but the testing the product. Whatever design software or developed software in the development phase, no, that we can test with the help of by using black box testing, white box testing, manual testing, automation testing. Okay, now we will see details about this testing the product. This stage is usually a subset of all the stages as in the modern SDLC model. The testing activities are mostly involved in all the stages of SDLC. However, this stage refers to the testing only stage of the product, where product defects are reported, tracked, fixed, and retested until the product reaches the quality standard defined in the SRP software requirement specification. Now we will study about stage 6, which is nothing but the deployment in the market and maintenance. Means whatever software or ready software will be handed over or delivered to the client for the sake of use. Now we will see detail about this deployment in market and maintenance. Once the product is tested and ready to be deployed, it is released for formally in the appropriate market. Sometimes product deployment happens in stage as per the business strategy of that organization. The product may first be realized in a limited segment and tested in the real business environment. This is all about uh, UAT is nothing but a user acceptance testing will be done into the deployment in the market and maintenance. Then based on the feedback, the product may be released as it is or with suggested enhancement uh, in the targeting market segments. After the product is released in the market, its maintenance is done for the existing customer base. Now we will see SDLC model, software development lifecycle models. There are various software development lifecycle models defined and designed, uh, which are followed during the software development process. These models are also referred as software development process model. Each process model follows a series of steps unique to its type to ensure success in the process of software development. Following are the most important and popular software development lifecycle models followed in the industry. These are nothing but the waterfall model, iterative model, spiral model, V model, Big Bang model. Other uh, other related methodologies are agile model, rapid access development model, that is also called as RAD model, and rapid application development and prototyping model. Okay, we in our syllabus we have to study these all types of model. Once again, I revise the software development life cycle model. These are nothing but a waterfall model, iterative model, spiral model, V model, Big Bang model, and agile model, and rapid access development model. Today we will see waterfall model and iterative model in detail. The waterfall model was the first process model. Okay, in software development lifecycle model, the waterfall model is a first development process model we introduced. It is also referred to as linear sequential lifecycle model. Waterfall model is also called as linear sequential model because each phase or each steps will be uh, performed after one another, that is sequentially. That's why this is also called as linear sequential life cycle model. It is very simple to understand and use. In a waterfall model, each phase must be completed before the next phase can begin, and there is no overlapping in the phases. That's why this is also called as linear sequential life cycle model. The waterfall model is the earliest software development life cycle approach that was used for software development. The waterfall model illustrates the software development process in a linear sequential flow. This means that any phase in the development process begins only if the previous phase is complete. Means the first completion of first step, the second step will be or second phase will be begins. In this waterfall model, the phases do not overlap. Okay, waterfall model design we will see afterward. Waterfall approach was first software development lifecycle model to be used widely in the software engineering to ensure success of the project. In the waterfall approach, the whole process of software development is divided into separate phases. In this waterfall model, typically the outcome of one phase act as an input for the next phase sequentially. Means whatever outcome of the first phase, it acts as a input of the next phase. The following figure shows the waterfall model. See here, this is a waterfall model. Um, there are five phases in waterfall model. The first phase is nothing but a requirement. Designing is the second, and implementation, verification, and maintenance. The first phase, whatever requirement analysis is done, no, then after completion of this requirement, the designing phase. After designing phase, the implementation phase will be developed. After implementation, the verification will be. After verification, the maintenance will be performed. Like this way, this requirement, designing, implementation, verification, and maintenance. These phases can be performed sequentially. That's why this is also called as linear sequential model. Okay, the linear sequential phases in waterfall models are requirement gathering and analysis. See here, this is the first phase. Here, requirement gather and analysis will be happen, and system design is the second phase. Afterward, implementation, verification, maintenance. We will study details about these phases. The sequential phases in waterfall models are requirement gathering and analysis. All possible requirements of the system to be developed are captured in this phase and documented in a requirement specification documents. System design. The requirement specification from first phase are studied in this phase and the system design is prepared. This system design helps in specifying hardware and the system requirements and helps in defining the overall system architectures. Afterward, we will implementation. With the inputs from the system design, the system is first developed in a small programs called units, which are integrated in the next phase. Each unit is developed and tested for its functionality, which is referred to as unit testing. Now we will see integration and testing. All the units developed in the implementation phase are integrated. Whatever in implementation phase, unit testings, whatever phases are developed, no, that will be integrated into the integration testings. All the unit developed in the implementation phase are integrated into the system after testing of each unit. Post integration, the entire system is tested for any fault and failures. Afterward, we will see deployment system. Once the functional and non-functional testing is done, the product deployed in the customer environment or released into the market. Now we will see maintenance. There are some issues which come up in the client environment. To fix those issues, patches are released. Also, um, to enhance the product, some better versions are released. Maintenance is done to deliver these changes in the customer environment. All these phases are cascaded to each other in which progress is seen as flowing steadily. Okay? Steadily downwards like waterfall structure. That's why this model is called as waterfall model. Through the phases. The next phase is started only after the defined set of goals are achieved for previous phase, and uh, it is designed of. So the name of waterfall model in this model phase overlap, not overlap. Now we'll see waterfall model applications. Applications of this waterfall model. Uh, every software developed is different and requirements suitable software development life cycle approaches to be followed based on the internal and external factors. Some situation where the use of waterfall model is most appropriate uh, are requirements are very well documented, clean and fixed. After product definition is stable, technology is understood and it is not dynamic. There are no ambiguous requirements, uh, and and the project is short. The waterfall model is uses. If the product short for the short projects, the waterfall model is uses. These are the nothing but the applications of waterfall model. Okay. Now we'll see advantages and disadvantages of waterfall model. The waterfall model. First of all, we will see advantages of waterfall model. The advantages of waterfall model development are that it allow for the departmentalization and control. A schedule can be set with deadlines for each stage of development, and product can proceed through the development process model phases one by one. Yes, deadline can be scheduled, and each schedule for each phase, and the development will be done at the deadline up to the deadline of that phase. Development moves from concept to design, implementation, testing, installation, troubleshooting, and end up at operation and maintenance. Each phase of development proceeds in a strict order. Okay. Some of the major advantages of the waterfall models are as follows: simple and easy to understand and use, easy to manage due to the rigidity of the model. Each phase has specific delivers and review process. Phases are processed and completed one at a time. Works well for smaller projects where requirements are very well understood. Means waterfall model works for a small projects. Means very less requirements. That time this waterfall model will be works easily. Clearly defined stages, well understood milestones, easy to arrange tasks. So these are the advantages of software development life cycle model. That is nothing but a waterfall model. Process and results are well documented. Okay. Now, due to this purpose, we use waterfall model. Now we will see disadvantages of this waterfall model. The disadvantage of waterfall model development is that it does not allow much reflection or revision. Once an application is in the testing stage, it is very difficult to go back and change something that was not well documented through upon in the concept stage. Means due to the sequential execution of model, this can't be this can't be done into the waterfall model. The major disadvantages of waterfall model are as follows. No working software is produced until late during the life cycle, and high amount of risk and uncertainty is here. Now these are the disadvantages of this software waterfall model. Now remaining models we will see into the next lecture. Thank you.